divorce harder on women or men?
That's a great question. I think it's equally hard on both, but I think that the world is more sympathetic to women when they get divorced. I think when a woman gets cheated on, the man's a piece of shit. And when a woman cheats on a man, she must have been forced into the arms of this other man, or she had to explore herself, or she was being neglected in some fashion. And
Right.
so if a man cheats, he's a piece of garbage. And if a man's wife cheats, he mustn't have been meeting her needs. And she had every right in the world. Like, so the world is very unsympathetic
To men, right?
to men when they get divorced.
But
As facts. And another thing I'll add here is remember that when the woman cheats, she bonds with that man. She does not choose to bond with that man. She bonds with that man based on most women's biological makeup. She now feels like she belongs to that man. This is not me. I just did a video about this and the science went into some depth. Men don't get the same type of bonding chemical, which is why a lot of times men will say, you know, I don't really care about that, especially if it's a one-time thing. And a lot of couples here, women will work with the man, but men will have a difficult time forgiving a woman in that situation because on a level, we understand that. We understand that there's something about that man that you had to really like, some attraction you had to have for you to want to bond with him sexually. Whereas a guy could be anything. You don't even necessarily have to be attracted to that woman, which is why a lot of times when these women step out, they're gone, bro. Let's keep listening.
So that's been throughout hers.
Yeah, that's been
now.
I mean, there was a maternal presumption, a legal presumption, what was called the tender years doctrine, which was that if a child was under the age of 7, they were automatically presumed that they would be in the custody of the mother. And men get really beat up still in court. I mean, the law theoretically is gender blind right now, but I don't actually see that because the law is people. The law is judges, and judges are human, and they have all the same biases. And it's just not a moment right now where men are particularly sympathetic characters. You know, I think that, you know, even young men. I mean, if at a school dance they sing Beyonce's "Girls Who Runs the World," like if there was a song called "Men Who Runs the World," men, and it was a positive thing, like you get pilloried for that. So I think that men have a very hard time right now in divorce. They see their children less. They get hit harder financially. They are the bad guy no matter what. If they cheat, they're the bad guy. If they get cheated on, they were the bad guy because they probably neglected her. There's a presumption that the man is to blame a lot of the time. Now, again, you know, marriage equality has been a thing for a while. So there are, you know, tons of gay couples. So you have 2 men, 2 women divorcing each other. And that hasn't really shook out too much yet in terms of how that plays out. I don't know if it's that gay and lesbian couples are better at it than heterosexual couples, or if it's still they're in the honeymoon period because, you know, marriage equality hasn't been around that long. But I think men find a less sympathetic world. But in fairness, divorced men have it a little easier, I think. Divorced men meet a young woman and the woman's like, instant family, just add me. That's great. You know, if he's got kids, it's like, oh, he's got kids. Look at how nurturing he is and how lovely. And women, you know, they get divorced. They've got kids. Guys are like, whoop, it's got baggage. I'm not going near that. You know, so I think that men and women have different problems post-divorce, and the world could be better to both of them. I think that I have some women who, you know, I've done their divorce, and whatever guy is with them is going to be very lucky because they're beautiful, they're smart, they're good moms, but they're also, you know, vibrant, exciting women.
And now they're loaded.
And they've got money now. Yeah, they've got money. They don't have as much financial insecurity.
Money from the divorce. And that is true. Men who get divorced, they'll have a tough time, very hard time during that divorce. But the end result are the women who initiate divorce thinking they're going to find something better, realize it. The men are actually at a better position than they are, right? They're on their decline part of their SMV.